Hi guys, and welcome to this video where we're going to be looking at the cosine rule again, but this time to find unknown angles. So there is going to be a video very shortly looking at when we need to use our different rules, but so actually I'd say that is probably the biggest skill here, but I'm going to show you how we can use cosine rule to find an unknown angle in any triangle. It doesn't have to be right angled. So actually, it's really important that we have every single side. If you know the length of every single side, you can work out any angle in a triangle, okay, using the cosine rule. Because if you think about it, the only thing we know the value of A, the value of B, the value of C. The only thing that we don't know is cosine A. So there's a bit of rearranging to do, but we can actually use cosine rule to find that value. So you could be asked a question like this. You're given three sides of a triangle. They're 6, 9 and 11 centimeters, and you are asked to find a particular angle. Now just remember, you've got quite a lot of freedom when it comes to using the cosine rule and labeling your triangles. However, there are some useful ways of doing it, some that aren't so useful. So remember, the cosine rule, the only angle in the cosine rule is angle A. So the angle I'm given, I'm going to label capital A. That means the side that is opposite that is lowercase a, and the two touching sides are B and C. These angles are C and B. Not that they are important to this question. I'm being asked to find theta. Okay, so what I'm going to do is write out the cosine rule. Again, I'm just copying it exactly as it appears on my sheet. So the cosine rule is a squared equals b squared plus c squared, take away 2bc cos A. So, like I said earlier, I know the value of A, I know the value of B, and I know the value of C. So there's actually quite a lot I can plug in straight away. A is 11, so 11 squared is equal to 6 squared, that's the value of B, plus 9 squared, that's the value of C, take away 2 times B times C, so 6 times 9 times cos A. Well, I've worked out that the angle A is actually theta, the angle that I want. So, looks a little bit horrible there, but we can tidy that up a little bit. So I'm going to evaluate as much as I can. So 11 squared is 121. Don't worry if you don't know that off the top of your head, this will be in a calculator paper. 6 squared is 36. 9 squared is 81. 2 times 6 times 9, or 2 times 6 is 12, times by 9 is 108. So take away 108 cos theta. Okay, I'm going to tidy it up a little bit. So 121 is equal to, well, 36 plus 81. That's going to give me 117. I'm taking away 108 cos theta. So that's an equation that I can solve. So I've turned something that looks really horrible up here, horrible and algebraic, into a much nicer equation to solve. Okay, it's still quite tricky, but it's a lot nicer now. So I'm going to take 117 away from both sides. That gives me 4 equals minus 108 cos theta. Okay. Now I want to know what the value of cos theta is, so I'm going to divide both sides by minus 108. That gives me minus 4 over 108 equals cos theta. Well, no value of cos theta, so that's not actually relevant to the question. That's not what it was asking. It wanted to know what the actual value of theta is. So I'm going to apply the inverse cos function. So shift cos on your calculators. And I'm going to type that in. So minus 4 over 108. I'm going to close my brackets. Oh, all looked a little bit weird. So inverse cos of minus 4 over 108. And that gives me 92.123. Just say it's 92.1 degrees for one decimal place. So yeah, what that is saying, I've done the inverse cos. That's saying if I do cos of 92.1, it's going to give me this answer here. I've just done the inverse. So I'm going to move on to my next question. I'm being asked to find this Greek letter is phi. So phi is here. Remember, cosine rule always deals with angle A. So I'm going to call the angle I'm looking for angle A. The side that's opposite is side lowercase a. The two sides touching are lowercase b and lowercase c. So, just for completion, I'm going to mark in my other two angles, capital C, capital B, and I'm going to again use cosine rule. I'm going to write it out and sub in what I know. So I've got cosine rule says a squared equals b squared plus c squared, take away 2bc cos a. So I'm going to sub in my values of a, b and c. I don't know what cos a is. That's the whole issue. That is what I'm trying to solve. So a is 12, b is 8, c is 9. I'm going to sub in those together. So take away 2 times 8 times 9 times cos a. 12 squared is 144. 8 squared is 64. 9 squared is 81. And I'm taking away 2 times 8 times 9. So again, I've done quite a lot of mental maths already. I think that's going to be 154 though. Let's just double check. Sorry, 144. So I'm going to take away 144 cos A. So I'm going to add these two together to tidy up even further, and that gives me 144 equals 64 plus 81, that is 145. Take away 144 cos A. So I'm going to take 145 away from both sides. Give me minus 1 minus 144 cos A. Divide both sides by minus 144. Give me 1 over 144 equals cos A. So I found the cosine of the angle. Not what I want though, I just want the actual value of the angle. So I'm going to apply the inverse cos minus 1 function. Type it into my calculator. So inverse cos, shift cos, 1 over 144. And that gives me, oh sorry, I just realised I've gone all the way through this and I've mislabeled my angle. I've got to change it to a phi. So I'm just going to quickly go through and change all those to a phi. Doesn't really matter though. So phi is equal to that number there, 89.6 degrees, one decimal place. Okay, so it's just a coincidence that both of those are quite close to 90 degrees. But yeah, it will work for any triangle where you know the 3 sides and you want to work out what one of the angles is. Obviously, you would be able to work out this angle and this angle, if you wanted to, you would just have to change your labels. Okay, you could go back to the start if you want to find this angle and say that this is angle A, this is side B, this is side C. It doesn't really matter. It's just helping you use the formula sheet you are given in this series of exams. So my next video will be on kind of bringing all of these skills together, and then we'll have one more on finding the area of a triangle using a different method, and I think that's pretty much everything done on trigonometry. So hopefully this series of videos have been useful. Do make sure you look at the next one, as it will help you know which rule to use, which is actually the most challenging skill in my opinion. So I will see you very shortly, guys.